The entertainment world has been shaken to its core, and fans are struggling to wrap their heads around the latest explosive revelations surrounding T.I. Tiny and their son, King Harris. Just when you thought you'd seen every headline this family could generate, a storm of shocking allegations has erupted, allegations so wild, so jaw-dropping, that they've left even the most loyal Harris family supporters divided. Whispers of betrayal, secret arguments behind closed doors, and heated confrontations have begun to paint a picture that nobody expected. In the last few weeks, King Harris, known for his bold personality and unfiltered lifestyle, has suddenly found himself at the center of accusations that could tarnish not only his name, but also the legacy his famous parents have worked so hard to build. And what's worse, the drama isn't just unfolding in tabloids or anonymous blogs. Insiders claim the tension inside the Harris household has reached a boiling point, with screaming matches, tears, and even shocking ultimatums. But what exactly happened? What was said? And how did a private family issue spiral into a public spectacle with millions watching? Stick around, because what we've uncovered will make your jaw drop. The story begins not on a public stage or a flashy red carpet moment, but in the quiet, private halls of the Harris family home. Behind the smiling pictures and the perfectly curated Instagram posts, something darker was brewing. Insiders claim that the atmosphere had been tense for weeks, with King Harris repeatedly clashing with his parents, T.I. and Tiny. Fans had long speculated that King's bold personality sometimes rubbed people the wrong way, but nobody expected the accusations that would come next. According to sources close to the family, the trouble started when King began spending late nights out with a new group of friends. Tiny reportedly worried that her son was getting mixed up with the wrong crowd, people who didn't care about the family's reputation or the empire that she and T.I. had built. One insider whispered Tiny begged him to slow down, to think about what he was risking. But King shot back, saying he was grown now, that he could make his own choices. That defiance didn't sit well with T, known for being fiercely protective and proud. The rapper allegedly confronted his son during a family dinner, a dinner that quickly turned from laughter to shouting. Witnesses say plates were pushed aside. Voices echoed through the dining room, and King, never one to back down, raised his voice louder than anyone. "You think because you're T.I. that you can control everything I do?" King reportedly shouted, his fists clenched tight against the table. T.I. fired back. "I'm not just your father. I'm the one who built this foundation you standing on. And you've gone respect that." Tiny, caught in the middle, tried to calm the storm, her voice trembling as she begged both of them to sit down. But it was too late. The damage was already done. What was supposed to be a peaceful meal ended with King storming out of the house, slamming the door so hard that the walls shook. Fans later noticed that King posted a cryptic story on social media just hours after the incident. It read, "Sometimes the ones closest to you are the ones holding you back." Though the post disappeared after a few hours, it was enough to fuel rumors. Screenshots spread across fan pages, with thousands commenting, speculating what kind of war was erupting behind closed doors. Things only escalated when allegations began to surface. The whispers claimed that King was involved in behavior that not only embarrassed the family, but also risked legal trouble. Neighbors allegedly complained about loud gatherings at odd hours, and some even hinted that police had been called more than once. Whether these reports were true or exaggerated by gossip-hungry onlookers, they spread like wildfire. Tiny was said to be devastated. In one emotional exchange described by a family friend, broke down in tears, telling King, "I just don't want to see you throw everything away. We fought too hard for you to have opportunities, and you don't even see it." But King, frustrated and feeling misunderstood, responded coldly, "You and Dad fought for yourselves. Now it's my turn to fight for me." These words cut Tiny deeply. She had always seen herself as the glue holding the family together, the one who smoothed things over when tempers flared. But this time seemed like nothing she said could bridge the growing gap, while the family argued behind closed doors. The public was quick to pick sides. Fans on social media expressed shock, disappointment, and even anger. One user commented, "I've always loved King's energy. But if these rumors are true, he's spiraling out of control." Another fan countered, "He's young. He deserves space to make mistakes. But T.I. needs to let him be his own man." As the drama played out online, rumors intensified when King allegedly skipped a scheduled appearance with his parents at a community event. The family had promised to show up together, smiling and united. But King was nowhere to be found. T.I. and Tiny put on brave faces, answering questions with practiced charm. But their strained smiles only fueled the gossip further. After the event, insiders claimed T.I. was livid. In what has been described as a fiery confrontation, he told King, "You embarrassed us in front of the whole city. Do you even care what your choices do to this family?" King, his voice sharp with anger, replied, "All you care about is your image. What about me? What about what I want?" These heated words left the family more divided than ever. Even friends close to the Harris clan admitted they were worried. One confidant revealed, "It's like a storm has taken over that house. There's yelling, slammed doors, tears. It's heartbreaking to see a family so close unravel like this." But if fans thought the arguments were the climax of the drama, they were sorely mistaken. Because just when things seemed at their worst, an unexpected twist pushed the situation into uncharted territory. Rumors began swirling that someone from within the family circle had leaked private information to bloggers' details about the arguments. The accusations, and even claims about King's personal struggles. The betrayal stung. T.I. allegedly demanded to know who was talking to the media. Tiny, already emotionally exhausted, reportedly begged him not to go on a witch hunt, fearing it would only make matters worse. But T.I. was relentless, determined to protect the family's reputation at all costs. Behind the scenes, King grew more distant. Those close to him say he felt like nobody was on his side, that every word he said was twisted and used against him. In a rare moment of vulnerability, he allegedly told a friend, "I feel like I don't even belong in my own family anymore." That confession only added fuel to the fire of speculation. Was King on the verge of leaving home for good? Was this just a teenage rebellion, magnified by fame? Or was it the start of something much more serious? Fans debated endlessly, each theory more dramatic than the last. Tiny's mother, who has always been vocal in defending her daughter and grandchildren, reportedly stepped in during one particularly explosive argument. With her voice firm but emotional, she told T.I., "You're too hard on him. He needs a father, not a boss." Those words reportedly left the room in stunned silence, as even Tiny struggled to hold back tears. But T.I. never one to back down, simply shook his head. "If I don't push him, the world will eat him alive," he declared. The standoff left everyone shaken. And as days turned into weeks, the tension only seemed to grow heavier, pulling the family apart bit by bit. With allegations flying, social media buzzing, and the Harris household filled with mistrust, one thing became clear. This was no ordinary family dispute. This was a storm threatening to tear apart one of hip-hop's most famous families. And yet, nobody could have predicted what would happen next. As the whispers grew louder, the Harris family found themselves unable to escape the constant glare of the spotlight. Every outing, every glance, every post was dissected by fans and critics alike. When Tiny was spotted leaving a restaurant without her wedding ring, speculation exploded. Was it because of stress, or was the pressure inside the house finally pushing her to a breaking point? One family insider revealed that Tiny had confided to a close friend late one night, her voice trembling over the phone, "I don't even recognize my home anymore. It feels like every conversation ends in shouting. Every smile is fake. I don't know how much more of this I can take." Meanwhile, King's behavior was only intensifying the drama. Reports surfaced that he had been caught on video in a heated argument with one of his new friends outside a popular Atlanta hangout. The clip went viral within hours, showing King shoving his friend and yelling, "Don't ever try to play me in public." Fans were stunned, with some defending him as passionate while others labeled him reckless.t.I, allegedly saw the video before it even went viral and was furious. In one explosive exchange, he confronted King in the living room, slamming his phone on the table and demanding answers. "This is how you represent the Harris name, acting like a fool for cameras." T.I barked, his tone sharp and unrelenting. King, unbothered, smirked and shot back, "Maybe I don't care about the Harris name as much as you do." The words hit like a knife to the chest. Tiny, who was nearby, reportedly gasped and covered her mouth, tears welling in her eyes. "King, don't say that," she whispered, her voice barely audible. But King doubled down. "I'm tired of living in your shadow, tired of everyone expecting me to be you. I'm not you, Dad. I'll never be you." This admission silenced the room, but it also revealed the heart of the conflict. King wasn't just acting out. He was rebelling against the pressure of being the son of one of hip-hop's biggest names. Friends of the family say that after this confrontation, King began distancing himself even further. He stopped attending family dinners, spent nights away from home, and posted cryptic messages on social media hinting at betrayal. One post read, "Loyalty is dead when even family turns their back." Fans immediately speculated that the message was aimed at his father. The public couldn't get enough of the drama. Media outlets ran with the story, adding fuel to the fire. Hashtags like #PrayForTheHarrises and #KingVST trended, with thousands debating who was right and who was wrong. Tiny, torn between protecting her son and supporting her husband, was said to be unraveling under the pressure. In one emotional moment, she reportedly broke down in front of her close friend, confessing, "I feel like I'm being forced to choose between the two people I love most." But the drama took an even darker turn when allegations surfaced that King had been involved in a dangerous incident at a party. While details remained murky, whispers suggested that an altercation broke out and authorities were called, though no charges were officially filed. The rumors alone were enough to send shockwaves through the family. T.I was livid, allegedly shouting, "This is the last straw." During a heated argument, he reportedly threatened to cut King off financially, declaring, "If you want to act grown, then live grown. Pay your own bills, figure out your own life." The threat shook King, but instead of backing down, he lashed out harder. "Fine," he yelled. "I don't need your money, and I sure don't need your approval." Tiny, caught between father and son once again, pleaded for calm. "Stop it, both of you," she begged, tears streaming down her face. "You're tearing this family apart." Yet the more she tried to hold the family together, the more fractured things became. The arguments were no longer private. Neighbors claimed they could hear shouting from inside the Harris home late into the night. One even told reporters it's like living next to a reality TV show. Every night there's chaos. What made matters worse was the involvement of outsiders. Bloggers claimed to have received anonymous messages detailing private family matters. And fans speculated that someone close to King was leaking the information. Suspicions grew, and the idea of betrayal inside the family's circle began to haunt everyone involved. Rumors even suggested that one of King's cousins had been feeding gossip to blogs for clout, sparking tension not just between King and his parents, but among extended relatives as well. Family gatherings that once brought joy now ended in whispers and mistrust. But the most shocking twist came during a live stream. In an unexpected move, King went live on social media late one night, visibly upset and ranting about the situation. Everybody think they know what's going on. They don't. They don't see what it's like to live with constant pressure to be judged every single day. "I'm not perfect, but I'm not a villain either." Fans flooded the comments with support and criticism alike. Some praised his honesty, while others accused him of being disrespectful to his family. Within minutes, clips of the rants spread across social media, making headlines and drawing in millions of views. T.I reportedly watched the live stream in disbelief. Furious that private family struggles were now broadcast for the world to see. The next morning, insiders say the household erupted into chaos. T.I. confronted King, his voice shaking with rage. "You embarrassed us in front of the entire world. Do you have any idea what you've done?" King, equally emotional, fired back. "At least I'm being real. You hide behind an image, but I refuse to." Tiny, once again stuck in the middle, tried to intervene but found herself overwhelmed. Friends later described her as exhausted, drained. In questioning how long the family could survive under such pressure, with emotions running high, the family found themselves at a crossroads. Fans wondered if reconciliation was even possible, or if this feud had caused irreparable damage. Rumors of King moving out of the family home grew louder, and some even claimed he was considering cutting ties completely. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse, a shocking development blindsided everyone. Insiders whispered that legal authorities were quietly looking into some of the allegations surrounding King's late-night activities. Though nothing had been confirmed, the mere suggestion sent shockwaves through the entertainment world suddenly. What began as a family dispute was now threatening to spill over into something much more serious, something that could stain the Harris legacy forever. But how would T.I., Tiny, and King navigate this storm? Would they unite to protect their family name, or would the rift tear them apart completely? One thing was certain: this was only the beginning of the chaos. And the next chapter promised to be even more explosive. The whispers about authorities. Looking into King's activities spread like wildfire. And soon it wasn't just gossip blogs or nosy fans' talk. It was mainstream media outlets. Headlines read things like "King Harris under investigation," and "Trouble in the Harris household spills into the streets." Even though nothing was officially confirmed, the speculation alone was enough to send the family into panic mode. Tiny was said to be absolutely crushed. One insider described her as sitting at the kitchen table in tears, whispering to a friend over the phone, "This isn't what I imagined for my son. This isn't the life I wanted him to live. We tried to give him everything, and now it feels like everything is falling apart." T.I., on the other hand, reacted with anger, pacing the halls of the house late at night, shouting that he wasn't going to let anyone drag his family name through the mud. "They want to see us fall," he allegedly told Tiny, his voice fiery. "But I won't let that happen. Not to me, not to my family." But King, tired of feeling cornered, refused to back down. In yet another explosive argument, he told his parents, "You care more about your reputation than about me. I'm the one living this life, not you. I'm the one dealing with the pressure every day." Tiny, her voice breaking, responded, "We just want to protect you. We just want to protect you." But King shook his head and replied, "You can't protect me from myself." These chilling words left the room in silence. A silence that spoke volumes about the emotional weight crushing the family. Meanwhile, fans online were more divided than ever. Some called for compassion, urging others to remember that King was still young and struggling with the burden of fame. Others, however, were harsh, labeling him as entitled and reckless. "He doesn't know how lucky he is," one commenter wrote. "Millions would give anything to live the life he was born into." The situation spiraled further when a mysterious audio recording surfaced online, allegedly capturing a private argument between King and T.I., though the source of the recording was never revealed. The clip spread rapidly, racking up millions of views within hours. In the recording, voices that sounded like King and T.I. could be heard shouting, with King accusing his father of being obsessed with control and T.I. angrily demanding respect. The leak left the family stunned. Tiny reportedly collapsed in frustration when she heard the recording, asking, "Who is doing this to us? Who keeps leaking everything?" Speculation about betrayal within the family circle grew louder. Fingers were pointed, accusations flew, and trust became a rare commodity. Extended relatives who once enjoyed the spotlight of being connected to the famous family suddenly found themselves under suspicion. But perhaps the most heartbreaking part was how isolated King began to feel. A close friend of his revealed he feels like the whole world is against him. Like no matter what he says or does, people only see the worst. In an attempt to defend himself, King once again took to social media, posting a series of emotional messages. In one, he wrote, "I'm not perfect, but I'm human. People forget that." In another, he added, "When will I ever be good enough?" Fans flooded the comments with support, but the damage was already done. The narrative had spiraled out of control, and the Harris family couldn't contain it, as if things couldn't get worse. Rumors emerged that King had secretly met with a controversial music producer, someone his parents had long warned him to stay away from. Insiders claimed that King was determined to carve out his own identity, even if it meant aligning with people his family didn't trust. When T.I. found out, he allegedly erupted, in what friends described as one of the most heated arguments yet. He told King, "If you work with him, you're no longer my son." The ultimatum left King stunned, but instead of backing down, he stood tall and declared, "Then maybe I was never your son to begin with." Tiny, devastated by the exchange, reportedly cried for hours, begging both of them to take back their words. "Don't say things you can't undo," she pleaded. But the rift was already widening at this point. Even friends of the family began to worry that reconciliation might be impossible. One confidant told reporters, "There's so much anger, so much pride on both sides. It's like they're speaking different languages." The situation reached a breaking point during a family gathering that was supposed to be about unity. Relatives had gathered to celebrate a birthday, but instead of laughter, the room filled with tension. Witnesses claimed that King and T.I. refused to even look at each other, while Tiny struggled to keep a smile plastered on her face. Eventually, the tension boiled over. In front of the entire family, T.I. reportedly told King, "You're destroying this family with your choices, King." His voice, trembling with anger, shot back, "No, you're destroying it with your ego." Gasps filled the room. Tiny broke down in tears. Rushing out of the house while relatives tried to calm the storm, the fallout from this confrontation was immediate. Within hours, details had leaked online, with fans once again dissecting every word, every emotion. The Harris family, once admired as a symbol of resilience and unity, was now being painted as fractured and broken. But the twists didn't stop there. Rumors began to circulate that King was planning to move out permanently, cutting ties not just with his parents, but with the family name altogether. Insiders whispered that he had been looking at apartments and even considering a legal name change to distance himself from the Harris legacy. The idea shocked fans, who couldn't imagine King separating himself so drastically from the family empire. One fan tweeted, "If King really changes his name, that's the end of the Harris dynasty as we know it." Tiny, upon hearing these whispers, was reportedly inconsolable. "I can't lose my baby," she cried to a friend. "I don't care about fame or reputation. I just want my son back." T.I., however, remained firm, insisting that King needed to face the consequences of his actions. "Sometimes love means tough love," he allegedly said. But whether his words were wisdom or just stubborn pride was up for debate. As the situation spiraled further, one question loomed larger than ever. Was there still a path to healing for the Harris family, or had the damage gone too far? And just when fans thought they had seen every possible twist, a new revelation dropped, one that threatened to shatter what little stability remained. Insiders claimed that King was preparing to speak out publicly, not just on social media, but in a full-blown interview. What would he reveal? What secrets might he expose? And how would T.I. and Tiny respond if their own son aired the family's deepest conflicts to the world? The stage was set for an explosion no one could have predicted. The rumors of King preparing to go public sent shockwaves through the Harris household. Insiders say Tiny begged him not to do it, telling him through tears, "Please don't take this outside. We can fix this together as a family." But King, feeling cornered and misunderstood, reportedly replied, "You had your chance to fix it. Now it's my turn to tell the truth." The tension leading up to the interview was unbearable. Fans speculated online about what King might reveal. Would he expose private family arguments? Would he confirm the allegations about his late-night activities? Hashtags like hashtag King's side of the story and hashtag Harris family secrets began trending, building anticipation to a fever pitch. When the interview finally aired, the world watched with bated breath. Sitting in a dimly lit studio, King looked both defiant and vulnerable. His first words were chilling. "Everyone thinks they know me, but they only know the version my parents want you to see." Throughout the interview, King spoke candidly about the pressure of growing up in the shadow of famous parents. "People think it's easy being a Harris," he said, his voice heavy with emotion. "But you're judged for every move you make. You can't breathe without it being compared to your father. And sometimes it feels like love only comes when you're living up to their expectations." The interviewer pressed him on the rumors of reckless behavior. King admitted to making mistakes but refused to apologize for wanting independence. "Yeah, I've done things I'm not proud of," he confessed, "but at least they were my choices. I can't live my whole life as someone else's reflection." But the most shocking moment came when King hinted that family secrets ran deeper than anyone realized. He stopped short of exposing specific details, but his words sent chills through viewers. "If people knew what really goes on behind closed doors, they'd stop judging me and start questioning everything." The fallout was immediate. Fans flooded social media with theories, dissecting every line of the interview. Some praised King for his honesty, while others accused him of betraying his family. One fan tweeted he just blew up the Harris legacy on national TV. Another wrote, "I feel for him. Growing up in that spotlight can't be easy." Back at home, the reaction was explosive. T.I was reportedly furious, storming around the house and shouting, "He went too far. He crossed a line you can't come back from." Tiny, on the other hand, was heartbroken. Sources say she locked herself in her room for hours, sobbing uncontrollably. "He's my baby," she whispered to a friend. "I don't care what he said, I just want to hold him." Extended family members were also drawn into the storm, with some supporting King's decision to speak out and others condemning it as reckless and damaging. The divide widened, and for the first time, it seemed like the Harris family name itself was splitting into factions. But just when the dust began to settle, another twist blindsided everyone. Leaked documents began circulating online, claiming to show details of the alleged investigation into King's activities. While the authenticity of the documents was questioned, the timing couldn't have been worse. Suddenly, the public wasn't just focused on the family drama. They were questioning whether King was in serious legal trouble. I reportedly saw the leak as an attack, telling close friends, "Someone is out to destroy us. This isn't just about King anymore. This is war." Tiny, however, was less concerned with the public and more worried about her son's well-being. She allegedly reached out to King privately, leaving him a voice message that insiders claim was filled with raw emotion. "No matter what happens, you'll always be my son. I'll stand by you even if the whole world turns against you." Fans who caught wind of this message praised Tiny for her unwavering love, dubbing her the heart of the Harris family. But others criticized her for enabling King's behavior, arguing that tough love was the only solution amid all the chaos. King himself stayed largely silent after the interview, retreating from social media and refusing to answer reporters' questions. Some say he was overwhelmed by the backlash, while others speculated that he was preparing another bombshell revelation. Tensions reached their peak during a family meeting called by Tiny in a desperate attempt to bring everyone together. According to insiders, the meeting started calmly but quickly spiraled into yet another heated argument. T.I accused King of destroying the family's reputation, while King accused his father of never truly listening. At one point, King reportedly shouted, "You care more about what strangers think than about your own son." His face, red with anger, shot back, You don't know what it takes to be a man. You'll understand one day, but by then, it might be too late. Tiny, once again the emotional center of the storm, broke down and begged them both to stop. Please, I can't do this anymore. I can't watch my family tear itself apart piece by piece. Words hit hard, leaving the room in heavy silence. For a brief moment, seemed like everyone realized the true cost of the ongoing feud. Yet even in that silence, the wounds remained. While there was no dramatic reconciliation, there was also no final break. Instead, the family was left in a fragile, uncertain state, either fully united nor completely divided. Fans watched closely, wondering what would happen next. Some predicted that King would eventually reconcile with his parents, while others believed the damage was permanent. This feels like the end of an era, one fan wrote online. The Harris family we thought we knew is gone. Through it all. One thing was clear. The saga of T.I. Tiny and King Harris had captured the attention of millions, turning a private family struggle into one of the most talked about dramas in entertainment. And as insiders hinted at more secrets waiting to surface, the world could only wait to see whether the Harris family would heal or collapse completely under the weight of their own battles. And so, the Harris family finds itself standing at a crossroads. After weeks of heated arguments, shocking allegations, and explosive revelations, one question still lingers in the air: can T.I., Tiny, and King find a way back to each other? Or has the damage already gone too far? The interview left fans stunned, the leaks left them divided, and the silence that followed only deepened the mystery. Supporters of the family are still clinging to hope, praying for reconciliation, while others are convinced this is the beginning of the end for the legacy that T.I. and Tiny worked so hard to build. Whispers of more secrets waiting to surface have left the public on edge, bracing for whatever might come next. Is King preparing another shocking revelation? Will T.I. finally soften his stance? Will Tiny's tears be enough to bring father and son back together? Or will pride and anger continue to pull them apart? One thing is certain, this story is far from over. The emotions are raw, the wounds are fresh, and the world is watching closely. As fans, we can only speculate, debate, and wait for the next twist in this unfolding drama. But now we want to hear from you. Do you think King went too far by speaking out publicly? Or was he brave for finally telling his side of the story? Do you believe T.I.'s tough love is the only way to save his son? Or is Tiny right that compassion is the answer? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We're reading every single one. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the shocking Harris family drama, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications so you never miss the next jaw-dropping update. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.